and just cease all activity, breaking the normal routine, and say, God, for one day out of this week, I'm going to acknowledge you. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to give you glory for who you are and what you've done. Are you guys willing to do that? It's not easy. Psalm 46:10 tells us, be still and know that I am God. So you can't know God if you're not still. And you can't be still and know God. That makes sense? So we need to be still before God, to cease activity, so we can know God better. And Sabbath also is a reminder for me, and some of you here, that you're not God. I'm not God. Because I have this Messiah complex that says, you know what, if I don't do this, if I don't, help this person, or if I don't do this, because they've asked me, then things are going to fall through the crack. The ministry's going to just bomb. And I got to say to myself constantly, Jay, would you just get over yourself? You're not that important. Amen? It's all about God. So there's many more people that can do it way better than I can. That's why I got my wife to do this for me. Because I couldn't do it. I'm going to make a charge to you guys. In order for us to practice Sabbath, leaders of the church, congregational leaders, elders, directors, you guys are responsible for keeping the pastoral leadership accountable for Sabbath. That's your responsibility. And I know it's important for me to live it out, to practice it. And I'm not. I'm far from it, guys. I struggle. I try to fit so much in one day, trying to use my own efforts. But I need to model it. We need to model it. Not just as leaders, but as members of this church. You see, God commands us to obey and keep the fourth commandment. He designs for us in our body to stop and to rest. And also, He gives you and I the strength to be able to serve God, the church, and the world. So that we can what? Glorify His name. We're going to bring this plane to a landing. The life application is this. How can we keep the Sabbath? How can we keep this day, the seventh day, set apart? For members, it's Sunday, pastoral staff, Mondays. No, did I say? For members, it's Sundays, and for pastoral staff, Mondays. How do we keep the Sabbath? How to keep 24 hours set apart for God? Number one, you need to decide in your mind that you will keep the Sabbath day holy. That you will keep the entire 24 hours. I know it's not going to be easy, and I know it's not going to happen overnight, but you need to try to keep that Sabbath day set apart. Number two, you need to ask a congregation member or a leader to hold you accountable, to help protect your Sabbath. Some of you, I know, doctors, nurses, professionals, are on shift work. My mom's a nurse for 30 years. That is an exception. If you cannot help it. Or maybe God will move your jobs. Number three, we need to spread our work throughout the entire week. Household chores, cutting the lawn, shoveling the driveway. Well, I'm going to do that anyways, but don't leave it just for the Sabbath day where we can catch up. Spread it out throughout the week. Number four, be sure to have some form of public and private worship. So not only Sunday through public worship, but you need to go deeper in your relationship with God. Through the Word, through prayer, through fellowship. And number five, find a life-giving recreation that will help energize you. And do it with others if possible. Some of you enjoy sports. Others enjoy reading. Others of you enjoy fellowshipping. But here's a cautionary note and a word of hope. Do not be disappointed. Do not worry if you cannot keep the Sabbath day entirely and that you don't keep it perfect. That's okay. We're all sinners. We all need some time, don't we? Don't worry if you don't get it perfect the first time. God will give you a chance every single week. In fact, every single week until you enter into the perfect Sabbath of eternity. Amen? So just to recap,